It's a sad day. Murray Walker yesterday passed away after 97 years of being one of the best men on the grid of Formula One. Not that he spent 97 years commentating now, but a giant among men for being able to bring the racing home to the small television screens of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and 2000, 2001. And F1 and anything else that he commentated on. Remember, it wasn't just F1. If you go back far enough, he did, I think he did Rallycross and all these other bits and bobs way before F1 happened. So it's a sad moment. And, you know, there's nothing else other than to say, you know, this is for you, Murray. This is for you. Last time around, we were at the Daytona 500. And today we are at Circuit Zolder. Now, this is the second most famous track that I know that is in, I think it's Belgium. Or someplace. It's in a place. I think it's either Belgium. Is it Belgium that Circuit Zolder is in? I can't even remember. I should have GPS on the screen just to say, hey, this is where it is. We are here for... It is the second most famous track. Yes, Belgium's second most famous track. Here at Circuit Zolder, it's going to be 10 o'clock in the morning. Track length of just under 4 kilometers, 40 meters above sea level. It is clear skies with a 5 kilometer per hour southwesterly wind. Track temperature of 27 degrees Celsius, even 1 degrees Fahrenheit. If you believe in that sort of thing, if you believe in freedom units, good to you. And it's not F1, but it's close enough. It's these things. Dallara F312 F3 spec cars built onto the large chassis, and we are watching Adam Fasciaponti driving around in the car number 150. And I know Craig hasn't gotten a word in yet. He's sitting there very patiently. Thank you, a great man. But I want to take you around a lap of the Circuit Zolder.
In Murray Walker style, right?
Yeah, do a Murray Walker. Yeah,
style.
For Murray.
Oh,
My gun will be a fitting replacement.
Do my gun.
My gun, and it's go, go, go over the trans sign as we get into the first corner into Eersat. Oh my, I don't think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Down into Sterrenbach, into Kanalbucht. Then into, oh crikey! I'm having a brilliant time.
Down the straight
into Kindbucht.
Into the Kind chicane, yeah.
Oh no, it's Kleiner. Oh, 9.
The Kleiner, and then down to Boot. Boot, they call it a straight, but there's nothing straight about this. And then now into the chicane, right, left, and then another right as they come around to the Telemann spot. It's a very tricky when you do the chicane into like a quick 90-degree and then another 90. Really nice over the crest there too. Turn 8, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
Oh, that Bocht. You see, it's Bocht, so you know it's poor Belgium. They tried.
Yeah,
they tried.
A little chicane there to Jochen Rinbot, and then Jackie X at the end. That is a lap of Zolder. Not a bad lap for Mike Gaunt there. I think he went a little bit wide on a couple of the early corners, but he'll cross the line for his first of 4 laps of a 1:24.526. That's now good enough for P3. Stefan Rossmann goes P2. Jack Weddle is currently leading the way. By the way, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I finally got Rob away from the microphone.
Okay. He said to take a chance, and I took a chance and I blew it.
Yeah. You had your chance, you blew it. There you go.
So,
by the way, I apologise in advance if my voice does sound raspy or rough. You can understand why. It was a very rough day. I grew up with Murray Walker, like a lot of people, so yeah, it's watching the F1 in the 90s. It was Murray Walker, and you knew Murray Walker. And not only was, like Rob said, not only was he famous for his F1, Rob, he's also famous for his rallycrossing. He was saying he was also famous for his bikes. He was also famous for British touring car, for V8 supercars, and snooker.
I didn't know about the snooker. Now you learn something new every day.
Have you not seen the clip of him commentating snooker on Jeremy Clarkson's interview television show?
No. I didn't know he commentated snooker. I'm gonna have to look that up now.
No, he did a little bit. The joke was, I've always wanted to commentate snooker, and they gave him a microphone. He stood up and he commentated on Ronnie O'Sullivan.
But all snooker is, you aim your ball at another ball, so that you can use trigonometry.
It was fantastic. And Ronnie O'Sullivan here, he's got the high-spec chalk with the high-spec cue. Now what's he going to hit? He's going to hit the white ball. He hit the white ball, and he's missed. Stuffed it. Missed. It was that. It was brilliant. You have to find the video.
I will. I'll go ahead and have a look. Today, we are doing 15 laps of a... what you call it? Like a heat?
It's a sprint race.
It's a sprint. It's following very much how Formula 2 does it today, where a short sprint race. I know. Wait, the long race comes first, doesn't it? In F2.
But especially this is remember, this is the Masters of F3. This was a very famous event outside the F3 calendar. Well, in the F3 calendar, but not part of the Grand Prix series. Kind of like the Maku GP3, the F3 champion race. If you got an invite to this race, you were like one of the upcomers. We're talking guys like Brendan Hartley took part in in one of these races in the last iteration at Zolder. So a lot of big names have gone around here in the Masters of F3. And of course, this is one of the older formats. Of course, the sprint followed by the feature.
Yeah, where the
all
feature
the points
now follows.
will come by the feature.
Yeah.
Nowadays you get the feature then a sprint. But yes, this will be a feature race. So the sprint race will not have any points on it. It will determine where they start for the feature, which is very crucial. And then the feature will be where the big boys come out and play. So that is what we're looking at. You'll see as well at the moment the timing tower. Well, you will see in a minute the timing tower. As we've got Flavio Figueiredo pole for 1:23.063. Eric Fike was second with 1:23.076. But of course, Anil Singh has just come to the top of the board with a 1:22.790. First car under the 1:23 barrier. And I think we'll see a lot of the cars just doing the 23s at the moment. And then you'll see the top guys just dipping into the 22s. As they've completing, I think their last of 4 laps, some of them right now.
It is 4 laps, you guess. I think Anil Singh is on his last lap. Flavio Figueiredo coming across the line. What does he do? He's exactly a tenth slower than his previous lap. He did a 1:23.064 as his fastest. He's actually parked the car. He's not doing another. He's done. Eric D. Fake, as he comes across the line in a very striking black on silver. And that's him. He's gone to the top with a 1:22.692. Anil Singh is about to cross the line to complete his 4th and final lap. And then we'll get to the qualifying results when it's a minute to go. They'll have plenty of time to sort of ponder and think, I wonder if we'll have good racing today. Well, sorry, what?
Sorry, I thought you heard me gasp because Anil Singh went down to P3 with Mike Gaunt taking second and just threw a 1:22.622. The Missed Apex podcast team throwing in there for saying it there, throwing in and getting a pole position by 700ths of a second. A fantastic time. I think there might be a couple people still going around. Facaponte is coming for his final lap. I think that's the probably the closest of the guys that may come to the top. He did a 22.218 at his fastest. He'll come across the line. So 122.622. He matches Anil Singh. Are you kidding me? Matches.
And he goes second.
He matches. On the day we say thank you, Murray, in one of his famous qualifying moments for commentating, was when 3 cars set the same time, and we've had it, but with 2 drivers.
Brandon Klug coming up to complete a lap, and that is another driver. David Wilson Jr. just crossing the... was it David Wilson Jr.? Oh, somebody anyway. They just crossed the line, pushed him back down to 12th. Brandon Klug coming across the line into 8th position. And, I think... you know what? We'll call it there for now and get them qualifying results up. So, your top 5, as is listed on your screens, Anil Singh, a 122.622, and just a hair and a whisker behind him is Pachaponti with a 122.623, according to our top stopwatch. Eric Veech with a 122.692, only 0.07 of a second behind the 2 on the top row. Mike Gaunt with a 122.740. Stefan with a 122.961. Colin Ward with a 122.962. And you know what? It's going to be a grid race. So let's get the rest of the results scrolled by as we see the rest of the grid lining up.
Waiting for it, the front 2. Honestly, my screen said they were identical. I was very surprised at that they were out by 1,000th of a second. I do apologize for that, but...
oh no, it's a running start. I thought it was a grid start.
I thought it was a grid start.
It looked like it was about to be a grid start, but then I realized, hang on a minute, they're not in their grid boxes. So yeah, let's just keep the keep the qualifying results scrolling. So a full lap around Zolder. Well, they'll be able to see how difficult it'll be coming too wide into the first hairpin. I guarantee you that, because it's not pretty. In normal cars, it's not pretty. In these cars, if that happens, ooh, it's gonna be a yikes from me there, Captain.
Well,
15 laps.
Rob's got the experience. I gotta say, Rob's got the experience around here. I say he's got the experience. He spent 23 hours around here for Jimmy Broadbent's charity race, so he knows what to expect around here. Apart from, he was doing it in a slow car, and these things aren't slow, and these are open-wheeled. It's chaos with these cars. Good chaos. The racing you get from these cars is fantastic. In fact, the rolling start might be a good thing, because if anyone's seen the Twitch clips, I'm not saying these guys would do it, but if anyone's seen the Twitch clips of grid starts in the F3s, it's very chaotic. But Rob, you say the chicane. The question is, which chicane?
The Kleine chicane. Simply because, well, the Kleine chicane on the outlap, as as they come around to it, it's going too wide. It's the start of the lap. They've just gone green flag. The thing about it is that temps are running high. I went around here in GT1, which arguably is faster. But we'll gloss over that. As you see Anil Singh going around. Car 42. iRating of 1868. Of Missed Apex podcast. So it's this one right here. It's this one right here. We'll go into the dynamic. Oh, well, I wish it was in a better position, but actually we'll hop on board with Anil Singh just to demonstrate what I mean. This is him on the outside. This is Fasciaponti on the inside. Look at the squeeze points in the middle somewhere where you're shuffling the driving wheel from left to right. The driving wheel. The steering wheel. To right. And it's a tight squeeze. You think it would be this one, the Villeneuve chicane?
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, this is Villeneuve. Yeah.
Oh, the Telemanton box. Okay. But this one's such a hard corner.
This one they're on right now is Telemanbocht.
Okay, yeah.
As he got tartan overalls, I think he does, because I'm seeing his leggings. Very tartan.
Very tartan. Comes down now to the final two corners coming up, really. It's turn 8 into turn 9. A little quick left, right there for the Jock and Rindt into Jackie X. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Raidillon TV, the only corner you need. We have a sprint and a feature today. The Masters of F3 for the Major Series. Rob will take you away as we go green.
As they get to the grid, it will be green light racing already coming around the first or the final chicane. As they're going around, you can just see them screaming down. This is Anil Singh coming on board into the first corner as he's going side by side. Not realistically with Adam Vacciaponte. Vacciaponte is going on his inside. As they come around the first corner, I said Ertze. Dear me, I've already got
a touch at the back, and Singh's gone off. Singh's got wheel damage. Wheel damage from the touch. Who did he touch? It was 60. It was car 60. Car 60, it was Derek Fick. And that is unfortunate there for the hit. As Vacciaponte will take the lead as he just starts to pull away there.
There's more accidents. Sorry, there's been more accidents. There's been a crash coming out of Blanchi box. Oh, there's been a massive collision of massive proportions. Multiple drivers having accident. Oh, crikey, that is a massive accident. Sorry, let me get that again. What happened here? Let's get that dynamic view up as we are looking at Jeffrey Eddie. I'm sorry, Eddie. Is he coming around? I can't see a thing. Oh, I do see the issue. Oh, they're gonna have to stop this. Might be a bit of a
parking lot right there.
Oh, they're gonna have to stop this. Oh dear. I mean, that's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage. Meanwhile, still live, Mike Gaunt is under pressure from Adrian Stefan for what would be P3. Stefan tried to go to the inside, but it's not the optimal line for the first turn. And Gaunt will continue that battle. They've got Flavio Figuccio behind. Apologies there for my pronunciation. And now Gaunt is just able to step away from Stefan. He might get back, Stefan, just using the straight down here, but it's going to be tough. Both of them kicking the gravel up, and that might help. Flavio right behind. Might want to make a move. This is going to be risky. He's a Kleiner. He's going to try and make this. He makes the move. Brilliant move there from Flavio. Just really put Adrian under pressure there, and he just had nowhere to go. Kept the speed on, and Flavio goes up to P4, and now he's chasing Mike Gaunt.
It is the best way to make a move around here is get to Kleiner chicane, make the move on the inside, and hope and pray that he doesn't collide with you on the right-hand side as he comes back around. And that is another car gone off. Sam Watley has gone around. Let's see what happened to him as they were coming past the Villeneuve chicane coming towards Terlaman box. And there is one of the one of the characteristics of these F3s, in my view, the back end is not attached to the road. Not at all. Until the tires get warmed up. And he's around. He actually avoids damage, but the person that was going to his left-hand side definitely wasn't. Oh, crikey. Colin Ward. He's around as well. Battling, I think that was. Oh! Was battling the car 51. Peter Dahlmeier picking up damage in very, very nice Jordan 1992 colors. But he's carrying a massive amount of front end wing damage. As Brett Trosen also having
got issues. He's got no drive. That back wheel is not connected, and now he's realised he has to tow. Look at that wheel; it's disconnected. Remember, they do get one fast repair in this race, so they're going to use it if they can, which will help them Adam Facaponte still in the lead at the moment, as Eric Fick will continue to try and chase him down. We'll keep our eyes elsewhere, of course, because that battle for P3 between Gauss and Figuccio is very juicy. Remember, it's first race sets the grid for the feature, and if you can get on that inside, that's going to be vital for the first turn, and that I think is what Gaunt is looking for. Of course, that may also mean Stefan is trying to battle up, because the further up the head you can be, the better. The fastest lap coming in right now is Facaponte with a 1:23.860, just starting to pull away. And I think he made almost a second up, or half a second, sorry, on the guys on the drivers behind. So really doing well at the moment.
I've set something up wrong. I've set something up wrong. Do you want to guess what I've done? Instead of laps completed, I've set it to laps remaining. So now it's counting down.
Oh dear.
So instead of saying 12 out of 15, there's 12 laps remaining out of 15 in total.
Lap 4 of 15 at the moment is the current procedures. The current procedures? Well, you know what the procedures are. Facaponte is just on his own. The 150 car just leading the procession. But like I said, there are battles elsewhere. And Adrian Stefan trying to get to Flavio Figuccio. And he makes it on the inside there at turn 8. Into 9 there side by side. The inside is going to be to Flavio. Will he keep that? The late braking may help him, but no. Stefan decides it's better to go slow in, fast out. He may get a pull out. You can see that Flavio is trying to hold on. He was pushing. He'll have to go to the inside again as they cross the line to start lap 5. Down to Erster as they go again. And look at the line. Flavio's got that inside line. It compromises because of the position. He's still on the inside. Still going to help him. But here comes Stefan. Coming around turn 2 into turn 3. Gets a better line. He may get the run. Flavio's going to have to go on the inside again. Meanwhile, Sean Brown is right behind them, just watching this and just waiting, hoping that nothing goes wrong. They're going to have a little bit of a moment. Brown decides it may be wise to just yield a bit. Stefan trying to sell a dummy. He's going to go for the braking. Down to the Kleiner chicane. Can't make him. Flavio has gone off. Flavio will have to give the time back. Really sure that'll be a slowdown there for Flavio, and Stefan just could not make it. Flavio gave him the room at the last moment.
Flavio Figuccio. Oh, he's gone off again. He's really having to struggle to keep that car on the road. He's trying to come around. He has to. Oh, crikey, 3 wide.
Did Sean Brown just make that free? Why is he going to try and make this overtake on Stefan? Into turn 8, can't make it. And again, he set the fastest lap last lap, by the way, 1:23.610. So he continues to push on to Stefan. Figuccio is behind now, almost out of slipstream. And now Stefan, he's got past. He's got that crucial P4. But now he's got Sean Brown battling for P4. He can't catch a break right now.
Looking on board with Adrian Stefan, looking backwards towards Sean Brown. And Sean Brown is, well, that's not, he may have a very happy, smiley helmet on. But I think he's not smiling. I think he's exceptionally focused right now as he's trying to take on the rear end of Adrian Stefan and get past and get towards Mike God, which is top 3. 5 laps gone, 10 laps to go. We're on lap 6.
We're on lap 6. Currently watching, as you can see, it's currently Sean Brown for HW Racing trying to battle Adrian Stefan for RIP Racing. Gap is extended to about half a second now, so I think Brown just needs to get the tyres back to the right temperature, just not overdo it. At the moment, P5 is not a bad position for him, but he'd love to be P4. He'd love to be an extra position up the road. 38 cars, by the way. 37, unfortunately, Drew Lalone did not take the grid. So there are other battles going on around here. Don't just think that the top is the main battle. We've still got battles all around the field. Just behind these guys in 9th and 10th is Stefan Rossman battling John McClintock.
Oh, well, it's a 3-way battle.
It is a 3-way battle, sorry.
It's actually a 5-way battle. They just
Figuccio's in the pits. Figuccio's in the pits.
What?
Not sure why.
Why did he just go? Did they have to fuel?
He has the fuel, but
no, I don't.
you have...
I don't. Not in the sprint race, surely.
Does he have damage?
I wonder
That's the
what's
next
happened.
question.
Oh, be interesting. We need to grab him. Be like, hey, what's going wrong? What's going wrong? He's in his pit box.
In and out. In and out. He's not in and out. That's a very weird what's going on. We'll keep an eye on that, but we'll keep an eye elsewhere on the battles. Like we said, battle for 6th and 7th, sorry, Thomas Stephen Nagel and David Wilson Jr. And of course, we'll throw Stefan Rossman and John McClintock in there because they are just a second behind. So you've got these four cars. A little bit of an elongated gaggle right now, but they're continuing to battle. 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Just continuing to go by. And for these guys, the higher up the grid you can get for the feature, the better. As they just continue to push. Again, good times here. Silvernagel, just having a couple attempts slower last lap as David Wilson was starting to start. That's a Murrayism, to tighten the screw. But is unable to at the moment. He did a 1:24.427 last lap. They come through Jackie X. Be curious to see what the time is now, because the gap is what, 0.7 of a second? Last lap was 0.9 of a second, so let's just see. It's going to be for Wilson a 24.345, and Silvernago is a 24.496, so another temp gone there. Wilson is starting to close in. Behind, Jack Weddle overtakes John McClintock, and they're battling hard. And in fact, it looks like Weddle's just had to yield the position. Did he go off a bit? Yeah, he went too far wide. Tried to make that move, could not make it, and McClintock continues in 9th.
As they go around, we're just seeing a replay. Jack Weddle coming into Erst, and just that gravel is very dangerous, so he had to slow it right down, and unfortunately has to work to do all over again against John McClintock. But I'd say he's doing pretty well for himself. He started in 11th, so he's only gained one position, but his teammate, I think it's his teammate. I mean, it looks like they got the same livery. John McClintock started 18th. He's 9th now, so he's actually gained 9 positions. What other 9? He'd be first.
Well, give a shout out to Gustavo Cianfari. I apologize again, Gustavo. Sorry. Behind. He's in 11th place at the moment. He's made up 12 positions. And we're coming up to lap 9 of 15. Halfway through the race, and he's made up... Well, he's doubled where he was. Gustavo racing on. You can tell that I'm really not with it today. Gustavo moving on. P11, fantastic from where he started. Can he get more? You can see in front of him, just a second up the road, is Weddle and McClintock in that little battle. Gustavo puts a 1:24.812, which is almost a second faster than Weddle last lap, and about the same as well for McClintock. So really starting to push right now. And Gustavo, that could be a name to keep an eye out for when we get to the feature if he keeps this P11.
Stefan Rossman challenging David Wilson Jr. for 7th position as they come around Klein chicane into Villeneuve chicane. Now, it's particularly for these cars, but you don't want to hit them sausages. Zolder is one of the most precarious tracks for the infield because of the sausages that are parked right on the apex of the corner where you'd like to park the car, and you know take the corner that way. But no fun, Zolder. Such a
no fun.
No fun, Zolder. Yeah, simply because them flipping sausages. I mean, we'll get a view of them once we go around again. But David Wilson and Stefan Rossman, the two of them are going to demonstrate for us what I mean. So coming to the first corner, Rossman is keeping it glued to the rear end of David Wilson as they're trying to navigate. They're essentially trying to navigate around the 2 chicanes that I pointed out earlier. So we're back on board. Here's the first section. There's 2 sausages. And, you'd like to actually take that curb, not in these cars, but normally you would in something like a GT car. And here we go. Here's 2 of them. Here's a set of sausages that I absolutely abhor. Is that the word for it?
Yeah, hey, I know. And then the other chicane as well right now.
This one, yeah.
The right
and
left.
more sausages. Why do we have these sausages? Why?
Well, to slow you down,
Yeah,
to not try and do corner cuts.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, I just want to go fast and not, like, rip my floor up and
All
pay
right,
30,000.
All right, Ricky Bobby, that's a lap car just going off and we're watching Rossman. By the way, how that battle behind with McClintock Raidillon, teammates for Mixed Apex Podcast F1, and Gustavo there is starting again to tighten the screw. Took 2 tenths out last lap. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, he's in slipstream range right now. Again, we'll check these times. If he gets it, like I said, top 10, he's on the 5th row, and then he wants to go higher. A 124.274 goes to the 124.0, so he's a little bit slower this lap as the Missed Apex guys continue to push on. We've got a battle brewing again for 3rd and 4th as Stefan is fighting Gaunt. Those 2 cars, they've had a little bit of battles already. Still there. Stefan just put in a decent time, made half a second up over that gap over Gaunt, and look at that. They're both having to, almost like they overcooked the corner because they didn't want to hit the sausages that Rob loves so much.
Apparently I need to get my protein. Mike Gaunt is leading Adrian Stefan, who is leading Sean Brown, who's actually slipped back a ways.
Sorry, Stefan just had a slide coming out of the chicane there, coming out the corner into Jochen Richt, down to Jackie X, so he's going to lose a little bit of time. But again, he's made another 3 tenths up this lap. The starting lap 12 of 15. It's a question of how quick can he get it, because P3, like I said, P3 would get him a different place on the grid. He'd be on the left, not the right. Yeah, the left, not the right. That's where he would love to be, especially for that run down to the first corner. But if he can't get up to Gaunt, if he can't force the issue against Gaunt, he's going to struggle. Well, not struggle, but he's not going to have a good first lap, because you know what it's like if the corner's a left-hander and you stay on the outside. It's just not going to work for him.
I can just see. Oh, that is the reason why you missed the curbs on this track in these cars, because it'll just kick you out. I mean, you avoid them somewhat normally. Oh, that is.
Oh,
my
Rossman!
God. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Rossman just went over the chicane, went over the sausages. Klein, he just went over and just really ate a lot of it, to the point that he's lost a toe with David Wilson. And now those Missed Apex boys are right behind him.
Oh.
Now he's battling McClintock and Jack Weddle. Surprised he doesn't have floor damage after
Oh no,
that
he's got damage.
excursion.
Oh no, he's got damage. See where it ended up. Oh. Yeah, he's got damage.
I don't know if I want to see where it ended up.
He's got damage.
Oof. Yeah, definitely damaging. For the last 3 laps, he is going to be
He struck the floor. Oh, crikey, that is John McClintock. He's gone round.
Gone around and hitting the brake, sliding back. He almost took his teammate out. So now Weddle's not there. That puts Tom Van Put, we've not talked about him today. Van Put will go up into P10. Stefani will get P11 back. He did go down to P12, but now he gets P11 back as he's now battling McClintock. And McClintock's going to try and get back in. He's spun him around. Oh my days. A very confusing move there. Very confusing move.
Let's have a look. Gustavo Cinfarani. On the inside. Oh!
And he's taking a wide line. I know there's a gap there, but it's going to be closing. And unfortunately, the man who's made up 12 positions this race...
My God, he's gone off. Oh! Trouble. Mike Gaunt, following the number 56 of Adrian Stefan, he lost 3rd place. And then this happened. He missed the corner of Boulderberg-Bocht. And when he having to come on, he almost struck a lapped car, I think. And he's now back down all the way into 5th position as Adrian Stefan clinches 3rd.
Stefan up to 3rd. Brown is just having a nice little drive there as we start lap 14 and 15. He's in P4. Gaunt, that's going to hurt Gaunt. He started 4th. He's now down to 5th. Meanwhile, everything else is happening. Wilson Jr. in a battle with Rossman. Weddle just on his own. But yeah, that moved though with Gustavo. Got back to the pits, but I think he's done. I don't think he's got the fast. No, he's still towing. Start the race, start the lap. So he's still towing, and he's going to be down as low as 21st. So he's almost going to be starting the feature where he started this race, and that's not where he wants to be.
A whole lot of oh no, oh no, oh dear.
Well, white flag is about to wave. Barney has that white flag ready. We start the final lap of the sprint race. Vaccaponte will be in the lead 2 seconds ahead of Eric Fick. With Stefan just a while back, and I don't see Brown or Gaunt at the moment. Yeah, they're there, but the gap is just so big. I don't think it's possible for him. What about our man that believed he could fly, Stefan Rossman? No, it wasn't Stefan Rossman, was it? Yes, it was Stefan Rossman. I apologize.
It was indeed, yeah. Stefan Rossman.
Still
he
there in P8.
How his floor is damaged? Like I know for a fact he struck that thing, and he struck it hard. I have no idea how he managed to escape that. Because usually if I run over those curbs in a car like this, the car just goes flying. Yeah, and yeah, he does have a damaged floor. He's damaged like where the plate starts. He struck it.
Where the plate starts.
Yeah, the underbelly starts for the floor.
Fair game. Well, just a couple more corners for Adam. And Adam Vaccaponte will start P2 and go to the pole. He's just got Jackie X to navigate in to the left, down to the right. And Adam Vaccaponte will take victory in the sprint race and will take that pole position for the feature. Eric Fick will be behind him and beside him at the start of the feature in P2, and Adrian Stefan gets P3. Sean Brown makes up 5 positions to get 4th. Mike Gaunt's a little bit unlucky there, but behind. Let's give it up for Stefan Rossman though, because even after that issue, makes up 8 positions. Almost had David Wilson at the end. He's going to be starting P8. That's a good go there by him.
And that is race 1 over. A sprint race.
Well, they're still battling at the moment, Rob, because there are other positions going on. I see a little battle here between Gustavo Cianfrari and Marco Schmidt. At the back of the field, they're still battling. Gustavo did get out. Not sure if he's a lap down or 2 laps down, but he's battling. He had damage. He hit the floor again. Schmidt will be trying to battle into the final corners. These are big battles for position at the end of for the start of the next race. But it looks like Schmidt will not be able to get that position. In front is Brad Walsh and Michael Thompson. They're going to have a little bit of a run, and Brad Walsh gets to sprint at the end there. Gustavo does take that position, will be 24th overall with Schmidt 25th. Just seeing if there's any other battles going on. No, Peter Dolomo's the last car, so that is officially it, Rob, for the sprint race.
And the race results for race 1 as, oh dear. Thank you, iRacing. It cleared it all for me.
Thank you, iRacing. I will go over them for you. Adam Vaccaponte will take pole position. Eric Fick will be 2nd. Adrian Stefan 3rd. Sean Brown 4th. Mike Gaunt 5th. Thomas Cybernagel 6th. David Wilson Jr. 7th. Stefan Rossman 8th. Jack Weddle will be 9th. Tom Van Put 10th. Sam Watley 11th. John McClintock 12th. Jan Brony 13th. Colin Ward 14th. Flavio Figuccio 15th. Brad Walsh 16th. Michael Thompson 17th. Fabricio Rafa 18th. And that's all the cars on the lead lap. 1 lap down for Frederick Hostetter, Anil Singh, Stuart Elder, Jan Malviva, Kenneth Reeder, Gustavo Cianfrari, Marco Schmidt, Roberto De Phillips, Peter Dolomer. They're all a lap down. 2 laps down for Jeffrey Eddy in 28th. Still in that same order, by the way. Brett Tosin, 29th. Mason Malzoff, 30th. Patrick Nice, 31st. Ernie Ludwig, 32nd. Wolf Dietrich Hutto will be 33rd and the last of 2 lappers. Jason Lothridge, Brandon Kluge, Corbin Solomonson, all 6 laps down, and Scott Kukas was 8 laps down. I believe Scott, unfortunately, no, it was Brandon Kluge, sorry, who had internet issues, unfortunately. So that's why he was 6 laps down.
It sounds like me on a normal Sunday evening. Internet issues. It's unfortunate, but unfortunately, it does happen. So, race 1 completed, the sprint race, and it is now coming to the feature. Your predictions?
Just a quick warm-up time. Yeah, predictions? Well, we saw the pace with Facaponte. A great pace there by him once again. Continuing to just... He's got pace in a lot of things we see. When we see his name, it's usually at the front of a field. He is kind of good at the major series, and when I say that, he's just a whiz at whatever car he can put his hand in. That's the major series, so he's going to be interesting. I'd like to see what Mike Gaunt can do. Maybe battle Adrian Stefan. There's guys at the top there, which I can really see. Either, if there's 5 at the top 5, I could see battling for the podium. Just all depends on what happens between them if there's any incidents. Down the field as well, I think the Watley McClintock will do something. Stefan Rossman as well. He's got a chance against the top 5. Jack Weddle was doing well. Actually, Jack Weddle, that was the name. He didn't have a good outing at the Daytona 500, but it does feel like he's got the hang of this car and just doing very well. The back of the field, unfortunately. Gustavo Stanfari, I was saying, if he stayed in P11, P12, maybe he'll be able to capitalize on that and go up the field, but he'll have to start 24th. I just feel maybe a stretch too far. A top 10 would be great for him in this feature race, by the way, 28 laps. But anything else, I think it's going to be a struggle.
So, as a reminder, we did have the quote-unquote, well, it's not even a big one. It's more like what I feared might have happened. It was a corner early, but it still did happen, where the contraction of traffic means that you have accidents. And for a race like this, it's about to come up, if you get caught out at all, you're in big trouble. Simply because if you get damaged in these cars, and you can and you very easily will, if you're not paying 110% attention, you will go off. You will have massive amounts of damage to your car as soon as you even look at the throttle.
As soon as you enter...
you see, look, Flavio Figuccio. Just to have a replay of this. Look how quickly he turned around in that car. Yoink! Off he goes.
So, we've got a very quick, and remember, there is also a full formation lap. Just to run down off the point standings at the moment, because we're only 2 races into the season, and there's only 4 points between first and second. Mike Gaunt versus Sean Brown. Sean Brown is racing today. It's there he is in P4. Mike Gaunt in P5. They're battling for the championship. Troy Anderson is not here for the wildcard week. Probably doing one of the other ones. Carl Aspey not here. Mark Day is in currently P4. Tie in 6th between Eric and Brian Boozma. And of course, Eric's here today. And he's doing well. So the guys you expect at the front are doing what they have to. Adam Facaponte, unfortunately, not up there, but is doing work. Any other names that we can see? Jack Wedder, I was talking about, he's got a chance to get a top 5. Currently sitting 10th in the championship. Corbin Solomonson tied 6th with Eric and Brian, and Andy Banfield, he's here as well. So the names you want to see are here. But Mike Gaunt for Hanson Brothers Racing, he doesn't have it all to do. He just needs to keep that P5, or just keep in that top 5, should he want to keep that lead. And the key thing is, get ahead of Sean Brown. I know it's early days in the championship, but he has to get past him. Both of them have a win this season. Will either of them become the first 2-race winner of the season?
Adam Pachaponte is on your left. Car 150. Eric Fick is on your right. The car number 60. As we are sat on board the pace car as it goes around for the second time and the last time today around the Circuit Zolder. And let's get some details on this session. Oh, back to 10 o'clock. Funny that. Back to 10 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock.
What? Oh, well. Oh, well, we'll just put this... we'll just put this down to mahogany. Zolder Circuit. Ignore the time. Track length has stayed the same. At an altitude of 14 meters above sea level. It is clear skies, a 4 kilometer westerly wind. The track temperature has increased. It is now 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So the tires will actually be it's about the sweet spot for getting tire temperatures up to snuff. But I won't have
it. The key thing is 70% humidity, Rob. So if you thought there was a lot of sliding last time, get ready for more. We know what humidity in this range can do, and I'm worried.
That's hot. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. As I got scared. I thought Adam Pachaponte crashed into the rear end of the safety car, and then I realized the safety car is how should I put this? It doesn't have collisions on it.
It's like Tails in Sonic the Hedgehog. It doesn't die. You can go through it, and it just helps you out. I mean, that's a good representation.
It is indeed. It is indeed. As they come around once again for the second time today. This is Raidillon TV, the only corner you need, as they come up to Jackie Ickbocht. Craig, it is your turn to take it away.
Adam Pachaponte will lead them away. He just wants to try and catch them out. And I tell you what, he may have just caught them out here. Pace car is going to go in shortly. They'll go green flag racing. He is waiting. Well, he's going to catch them out because a lot of people are going racing this time. Now he goes racing. He's got a great lead, almost a car length lead over Eric Feck. So what will happen behind is Eric is going to be battling Stefan. Can he make a move at the moment? No, I think they're all going side by side. There's a single file, sorry. Not a lot happening.
Oh, Fake's already gone.
There's been more chaos
a disaster.
More chaos at the back. It looks like that is Hofstetter. Hofstetter is off as well. Did not see what happened there. Did Hofstetter get caught up in it? Looks like a car went around. Was that Anil Singh? Anil Singh lost the car. Nowhere to go. And oh! The pole position driver at the sprint race is out. Loads of damage to that car. Brett Tosin will just come out as well. He was doing it. Roberto De Felipe's had a wheel off. He is trying to limp around, but it's impossible to limp around. We've got Mason Marzoff off as well. He's had a moment in the wall, as has another driver. That is Eric Feck. That's Eric Feck. That's Eric Feck.
Yeah, Eric Feck. As I said, he had a massive disaster in turn 1 and a massive disaster coming around Lucien Blanchebocht. And oh dear.
6. Now Thomas Sauvernagel is in at the pit. 6. And he's hit the wall. 4 of the top 10. I was saying 6 have not towed. 4 of the top 10 to start the race have towed and will have to take their quick repair. Adrian Stefan will lead the first lap. Will lead lap 2. Takes the lead over Adam Pachaponte. Sean Brown is P3. Sam Watley is there in P4. I mean, we're trying to work out who's what at the moment. Jan Bruni is now P5. Stefan Rossman will take 6th. Colin Wall's in a battle with Jan Miziva. But I think Jan just had to do a slowdown. And remember that man I was saying who could have been at the front if he didn't have that crash after making 12 positions up? Gustavo Cianfani is up to 9th.
From
15 places in
24.
one lap.
15 places, 1 lap. Gustavo Cinfarani. Ciao. Ciao, I can't even do an Italian right. Ciao, Cinfarani. As he comes past the Fleet TV signs, chasing down Miziva, car number 78, and then he's going to try. Oh, and I've just cursed the man. Oh dear.
I almost got caught up by Marco Smith. Smith also making 15 places. Jan Mazzelliniva was made up 14 places, so you get an idea. There's Roberto Di Felice. Has Roberto actually pitted? Roberto's still going with 3 wheels on his wagon.
What?
He still thinks that he still thinks he can get back. He doesn't want to tow.
Goodness gracious.
He doesn't want to tow.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this poor wheel. Oh, that's not attached. And
3 wheels on my wagon.
3 wheels on the wagon, and well, I mean, that's a very uncomfortable ride.
So a lot of cars are also just coming out of the pits. Brad Walsh and Michael Thompson, 30th and 31st. They're in a battle, but they've also got to just wait for the battles around them. Which at the moment, you've got Colin Ward and Stefan Rossman. Here's 2 guys I didn't expect to see. Colin Ward for missed apex. Looks like he wants to try and make a movement into the Klein chicane. And they say 9 at the Klein chicane. As he continues the battle, Stefan Rossman. The thing is, Stefan Rossman has got Eric right in front of him. Eric Beck right in front of him, which isn't a problem because it's a lap car, but surely Eric's faster than Stefan. You know what I mean? So it does feel that way. Wait and see. No, Eric's just. Stefan just spun. Now was that just hard on the brakes? Had to lock the brakes.
Oh,
and he goes down to P8.
Yeah, spun on his own. And unfortunately, back to 8th he goes. At least he kept the car going. Not having to stall
Roberto's made it to the pits, by the way. 2 laps down.
Why didn't he tow?
He also forgot to turn the tyres off, so he just took fresh tyres. So he's 2 laps down instead of towing.
Well, at least he's got fresh rubber.
Yeah.
On board with Jack Weddle as he's chasing down. Where did he start? He started 9th and he's now to 13th, so he's lost 4 positions as he tries to chases down. Oh, not like that, Jack. Losing it. Coming out of the. He's short shifted at a Blanchebocht. Just not. It's not his day today. I don't think. He's not. Still short shifting coming up the hill. And then Patrick. Oh, I don't even know what's going on anymore. Patrick Nice has let him go. By the way, Patrick Nice. He started 31st. He's now 12th. Or 13th.
I can find someone better than you now! Michael Thompson's got into the back of Gustavo! And Gustavo's caught Michael Thompson! No, it's Flavio! It was Flavio Figueredo who went into the back of Gustavo! What on earth just happened? I've never seen that! What on earth was going on there? And you can see, oh, it was late movement there. And just goes flying. Both lose control. Both hit each other, and Michael Thompson minding his own business. And to be fair, what can Gustavo do? He's got 1 wheel. If he hits the brakes, well, he probably could have hit the brakes there, but I think he was still a missile. Wow.
Oh,
drama.
Crikey. And you can just see.
Just a late block.
Crikey.
Just a late block. I feel that Flavio was there.
And, you know, it just. It's not. It's the quickness of it all, and it's just like, oh, that one movement. Hang on, let me just do the patent pending rewind feature. Just to.
While you're watching that, we had Wolf Di Tricoto made up 24 places in the race, and now he's on the verge of thorough putting in 9th.
Oh, please no.
Yeah. He's not on the screen. He's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. And I think Hohoto is about to be fur-putted, unfortunately.
Oh, it's just see this one tap of the front wing, and it sent Gustavo's rear wheel off in a tizzy, and then he can't control it. Slam, dunk into the side of Flavio Figugio, and Figugio, well, there's a wall nicely there to greet him. He can only go one way.
Hoto, yeah. Hoto, now look at that though, that missile, just one way to go. Hoto has now, unfortunately, fur-putted. That throws Patrick. That puts Peter Dolomer into P10. Jack Weddle goes up to 9th. There are 21 cars still on the lead lap.
Yikey. Jan Brony, what's wrong with his car? The 1992 throwback. Oh, he's had an accident.
That's
car number
lap
60.
Car. That's Eric Feck, lap car, and yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, he was stuck in 6th. I can see why he was stuck in 6th. That rear right wheel, it is not attached properly, and that's bouncing around. Because all I could hear was him bouncing off the limiter, and I was like, he's in 6th gear. How is he bouncing off the limiter?
Absolutely crazy. There's a lot of cars not on the lead lap. A lot of cars just battling. I count 10 cars. No, I count 11 cars a lap down, having their own battles. And of course, when you've got the likes of Eric Feck, who's in there, who's also one of the championship contenders, you've got to pay attention. As he goes into the pits, what other choice did he have? He's got no nose. Mike Gaunt, he's about to be lapped. He's the championship leader. He's down in 20th. Unfortunately, Sean Brown, currently at this state, would be taking the championship lead in P3. And I know it's all a bit early days. It's still the 3rd race of the season, but getting that championship lead as early as you can is vital. He's not in any battles at the moment. He's in a little bit of limbo. He's got a lap car in front, but he's 6 seconds behind P2 and he's 5 seconds ahead of P4. So all he's got to do is keep the car straight. And I'll tell you how chaotic this race has been. The leader is, we'll put it like this, the gap between the leader and the next cars is 2 seconds, 7 seconds, 12 seconds, 20 seconds, 26 seconds, 27 seconds, 33 seconds, 36 seconds, and 40 seconds. Everybody's so spread out right now.
It is the nature of the F3s, though. You do one tap, and as you can see, as you saw with Gustavo, his wheel go flies. I mean, it's an accident under qualifying area, yes, but his wheel still just went boink and just went, okay, I'm no longer a wheel. I'm going to be a thing. I'm going to be, what do they call it?
I don't know.
I was going to say, why did I try and... I was thinking of, like, a bouncy ball, but it's a very deadly bouncy ball.
Oh, like one of those horrible rubber balls that just go haywire.
Yeah, it's like... what do they call it? Like, there's an actual name for them, but, like, if you bounce it hard enough, it just goes boing, 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 and you can barely stop it.
I know the balls. I don't know the name of them, unfortunately. So, I mean, the chaos has now died down because everybody's setting green laps, by the way. Stefan went purple last lap with 23.599. He's done a 23.717 this lap. After Ponti with a 23.696 this lap. So the gap between first and second, as you can see, is 2 seconds. You will keep eyes on that as the gap's... it's slowly closing. So we'll wait and see. Battles, unfortunately, there's not a lot of battles going on, but there's a battle for P6 between Jan Mavelzia and Stefan Rossmann at the moment. Stefan Rossmann, of course, a driver from Mjolnir Motorsport, started the race P8 and P7. I mean, with all the chaos, that's pretty impressive, as he almost gets rear-ended by Flavio Figuccio as I just say that. So hang on, let me just knock on wood. I'm a bit worried. So, continuing on here. Look at there's not a lot of battles going on. So, we'll look to see elsewhere. These two, though, just battling on. It's also, it does look nice as well when you've got the lap card behind, giving the respect. Of course, blue flag rules in effect. So, if you're faster, you can go by. And Flavio is in a battle between Gustavo and David Wilson behind. The gaps aren't tight, but they're closing. And you know, Flavio's got to think at one stage, am I fast enough to get by? I have to get by, otherwise I'm going to be swallowed up. The gap between Figueiredo and Cianfrari is 1.5 seconds, and another 2 seconds between Gustavo and David Wilson Jr. And it's the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, while, you know, they're getting a little bit held up between this battle for 6th and 7th between Melissa and Stefan Rossmann. And it looks like Rossmann's just going to let Flavio by. He's realized that Flavio's faster, and it's just going to be holding everybody else. So he lets Flavio by. Flavio's going to get a little bit of breathing space now. Stefan Rossmann will be there. Gustavo is now he's the one that's thinking, come on, I just want to get by. And he's just struggling. Good evening to the Esports Broadcasting Network. Or good afternoon, sorry. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon, British time. And we're still here. Lap 8. Sorry, I take that back. Lap 10 of 28. That gap between first and second, the two A's, Adrian Stefan and Adrian Bacaponte, has dropped to 1.5 seconds. Granted, it was it was 1.3, it was 1.8 seconds last lap. So Bacaponte has taken 0.5 second out. They'll cross the line. What's it? A 1:23.922 from Stefan. And it's a 1:23.449 for Bacaponte. So starting to close that gap. The pressure starting to go. Remember, Adam in the 150 there started the race on pole. And for all the chaos of the first few laps, lost that lead as Stefan just went on. So with that gap now starting to be 1 second, got to start wondering where they're, when and where will the overtakes be. Like I said, there are battles, not a lot of battles at the front of the field, but there's enough battles to be talking about. Stefan Rossmann has got backed onto the toe of Maziza. I think they all realised that Fiek and Figueiredo, well, not Fiek and Figueiredo, they're on two different laps. It was McClintock and Fiek. It might be a bit, crucial. Figueiredo having a crash. Actually, I think David Wilson's had an issue with, there was a card there. Did not see it, so they're all out of tilter. But Rossmann versus Malavica, and Figueiredo is blinking in front of Jan, and that's just caused him a little bit of issues from turn 7. Rossmann is going to get the run down to turn 8. Will he make this? He goes late on the braking. Novicio has nothing to give, and that's P6. Stefan Rossmann in the 353 from Miona Motorsport. Very, very crucial there for the likes of Rossmann, because Rossmann trying to climb up the board, 14 points down in joint 17th in the championship. There's a lot of guys on the same amount of points, so you just got to be careful that 17th sounds bad. It's not as bad as you think it is when you realise there's 5 guys with the same amount of points in 11th. 2 guys with the same amount of points in 4th, and 4 guys with the same amount of points in 6th. So early days, but that championship is very crucial. Of course, remember, this is the wildcard weekend for the Major Series. The International has had their 2.4 hours of Bathurst. Europeans are giving you the F3 Masters of Zolder. But later tonight is the 1978 Grand Prix of Long Beach in the Americas race for the wildcard, which of course is on the Esports Broadcasting Network, as mentioned. I hope I can get up and watch that, or watch it back later because the Lotus 78 and Long Beach just sounds like an amazing combination. Adrian Stefan's hit the sausages out of turn 1, and Facaponte has the lead. Just like that. Stefan goes wide and takes the lead. I don't think we've got this at the moment, unfortunately. Rob is just having a few things to work out. Stefan's hit the chicane, hit the kill chicane. He's gone flying. Stefan may have damage here. Stefan may have damage after those 2 incidents. The gap is now 2 seconds, and Sean Brown is starting to think, hey, I can do something. Keep eyes on if he has damage. I think he's okay at the moment, but hitting those sausages that Rob talked about so much and how they're horrible in these type of cars really has affected the drivers. Has affected Stefan, sorry. Ryan Hamilton. Racing sausages are indeed the worst. Thank you. I can't believe I'm giving that bad joke airtime. Now, Jack Weddle has had a moment. Was P8 down into P10 now? Not sure what the moment was. Oh, he spun at turn 1. He spun at turn 1, so Jack Weddle down to 10th, was running 8th, losing some positions there. We are seeing some big movers here. Peter Dollemer will make 19 positions up now. He will take P8. He finished the sprint race a lap down. He started 27th. He is now in 8th position. In front of him is Jan Melisva, who is started 22nd, is now 7th. So he's made up 15 places. Stuart Elder behind those two, making up 12 positions. So all very interesting at the front of the field, but just looking at this gap now between Stefan and Facaponte, I need to look at the lap times when they cross the next lap, but Stefan may have damage. It just feels like he's a little bit off the pace at the moment. And that would probably do it because his wing is bent. I've just looked at his wing. It's missing a few things. Well, I say it's missing a few things. It looks pushed up. And he was a second and a half slower. So yeah, that pushed up wing is really costing Stefan at the moment. And do you know what? I think, yeah, that happened when he made those mistakes. And that's going to be a downforce issue. And that's going to be a bit of grip. Steering's going to be compromised. So he's losing time. And in fact, I can hear it actually hitting the floor. I can hear floor sound. So it makes you wonder if it is causing issues. But the gap is now 5 seconds to Facaponte. And Sean Brown is starting to take advantage in this. So, we're on lap 15 of 28. We're at the halfway stage. Well, just over the halfway stage. So yeah, it's halfway plus a lap. There you go. I know my maths. I'm very good at my maths. That's why I'm smart. Battles are not happening at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot of cars just in big gaps. But there's also cars that just aren't being affected anymore by lap cars. Lap cars were causing a little bit of an issue for some of the drivers out there. We're talking about big gaps. Jan Mavelza is being under threat from the car 51 of Peter Dollemer. Dolmeyer, sorry. Who's got the best number on the grid, 51. Totally not biased because that's not my number. Totally not.
I come back to you being biased. Oh, crikey! I mean, that's Gustavo gone round again. Let's see what
Fun! He lost it himself. and he spun.
Oh!
He spun his car 180 degrees.
And he spun the number 5 car around 180 degrees.
Brilliant.
Oh, yeah, another lockup. Oh, that is quite precarious.
Lots of lockups, but of course, the key thing we're looking at now, Rob, is Adrian Stefan and that damage. Because you can see he's losing time. He's not able to get into those 23s anymore. What can he do this lap? Crosses the line to 24.923. I mean, that's still not a bad time, but it's a second slower to Facaponte, who has the lead. And those mistakes hitting those sausages. Let's just say, I think he wants his dinner. Because that's why he hit those sausages. Ooh, pardon me, I think I need my dinner.
And you can just see, you can actually see the damage from the nose cone. As he's trying to get around, you can actually see the scrapes and he's had on that front left. And that is costing him plenty of time. He's not able to, no matter how fast he can go, he'll always be at a disadvantage. And while he's got a gap behind him, he's got a lapped car ahead of him, and he can't clear. And let's go on with Colin Ward, who's got a perfectly good front wing, chasing down Sam Whatley. Whatley, remember, he had that accident. He had the accident at the start of the first race. No, correction. In a few laps into the first race, he had that accident where he went all the way around. And now he's trying to see if he can get back up into... Oh, we've got another car smoking in Oldenburg Bocht. He's doing fine. All are doing fine. He's smoking. Yes, indeed. And wait, is that... Did I just... Oh, I think he does have damage to that front. Does he?
What are we talking about? Sorry.
No, I'm trying to figure out if that is... Nah, does he have damage to that front wing? Colin Ward?
No.
No, it's just the angle of the board on the left, the end plate on the left, was giving me like I've missed the commentary point, just like they missed the apex, but sorry, it is missed apex. It is missed apex. Sorry.
But there's that slow car going by. Most of Malzov is slow and just allowing Ward to get to the back of Whatley, but it's not going to work. I see smoke every time they lock up. Very infuriating, because smoke's not bad now that you change it, but if you get a puff like that, you do start wondering if someone's spinning. It's so thick and they almost look identical. Ward is still pushing. That is going to be a send. Is he going to try and make it there? He is, he's forced the issue. He's forced the issue on Whatley. That's a very weird place to force the issue. Came quite far back, as Whatley will have to yield to position. He may try and go for this, but no, just decides to lift and brake slowly. Lift and brake slowly. That's very weird. Not battling. He's lost half a second because of that.
Well,
is there an issue to Whatley?
Well, the race. Well, I mean, he was two seconds, almost 2 seconds slower on the last lap. I wonder if he does have an issue. But I mean, I think he's just more than anything. I think he's just trying to get around and get finished. Is it bad that I actually laughed at that? Yes, it is. It means you're on our same level of punditry. I've done it again, haven't I?
Oh, I can't believe you've done that. I cannot believe you've done that. Right, Peter Dolima in the best number on the track, 51 in 8th at the moment. He's battling Jan Melizva. And the gap now is 0.2 of a second. Jan's gone quite wide through turn 2 into turn 3 and 4. That was turn 3, now turn 4. He has got that run. He will go to the inside to come down to the Klein chicane. There's a massive overlap. They're side by side for the braking. Are they going to touch? No, and in fact, Dolima brakes. Oh, that's why. Melizva overcut the braking. Really wanted that position. Really wanted to hold on to that position. And unfortunately, I think he may have just gone a bit too hard. And yeah, he had all the speed in the world and it just kicked him up. So he's down now in 11th battling Fabrizio Rappa.
Who pitted, by the way?
Pass.
No, that was a statement. He did pit. This man, the car number 14, pitted, and he started 18. He's now back up into 11, so he's pretty happy with himself.
He started in the pit lane. That's why he did a pit lane start.
Fair enough. Also, I just realized the height of the mirrors is different. Oh, that's gonna bother me now for the rest of the race. The F3 mirror heights are different.
Wait, hang on. They are what?
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, it's by design.
I can't stop looking at that now. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now that I've pointed out to you, every single one of you is going to have that envisaged in your head. It's just like, well, no, I can't. Oh, I know why. Because it's the big sticky out thing.
The exhaust.
Yeah. The big sticky out thing. It needs to clear it. So that's why it's higher.
Well, you and I come from a time where they put the mirrors on the wing plates. Remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I certainly do. Remember when Williams, back in 2018 or 2019, they tried using the mirrors as part of the
Halo.
As part of the.
No, that was Ferrari, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ferrari tried to use tried. I mean, A for effort, but F for actually getting mirrors that worked. Attaching them into the halo. But remember when Williams got, they got slapped down because they were trying to use their wing mirrors as part of the aero specification. They were trying to integrate it into the aero, and then they were just like, and the FAA was like, no, you can't do that.
That's the mastermind of Frank Williams in a nutshell. He tried anything. He comes from that generation that is like, how can I bend the rules to make things work? Remember that winning car with Mansell, the car that had all that suspension. That's a Frank Williams special. So,
I mean,
really, yeah.
To be fair, every day he'd probably come into work and just have the rule book in his hand, and then
it's like
he would just get the rule book and be like, you see this is what we need to not follow. We need to follow it to the letter in spirit. By that I mean I need to follow the rules just so we can get this car on the grid. Anything else is free game.
Well, remember the Ford versus Ferrari film?
Oh yes,
where
yes,
Ford were the first ones to do brake disc changes. Not brake disc changes, but like the whole subframe change on a car.
Oh yeah.
Ferrari race because just a moment where they're trying to figure it out, and the rulebook says that you cannot change a part on the car. But they're not changing a part on the car, are they? They're just, they're not changing a part. They're changing the car per se because it's a subframe. And I just love the film because there's Enzo Ferrari looking down, angry, and he's shouting. He's shouting on the phone to one of his mechanics. No, he's shouting to the AOC. And the AOC runs up and says, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. And there's Christian Bale like, oh, I'm sorry. We read your stupid rule book, and this is in the rules. Just stuff like that, It's been happening since the 50s.
Old man Fezzer just, he's just like, wait, that's illegal. Only I can bend the rule book.
Right, so, lap 23 of 28. And the question I had a few laps ago was, can Adrian Stefan hold on to P2? The gap is now 2 seconds. He's only pulling half a second away from. He's only losing half a second a lap to Sean Brown. So even with that wing damage, he is doing fantastic to get those type of laps. Adrian Stefan must be applauded for driving that damaged car, because if that was real life, he'd get the black and white, he'd get the black and orange flag, he'd be told to come in, and he is continuing to battle. But the gap is 2 seconds between Stefan and Sean Brown. And it is vital. Again, championship implications, because what would Sean Brown love to do? He'd love to get onto to the top of the championship from P2. If he gets the P2, there you go. He'll be leading the championship. Adrian Stefan would love this, though, just to get up there. So you can see how crucial this is right now. Gap is now 1.7. If Brown gets that P2, all he's got to do is just keep it. Lap 24 of 28 starts now as Stefan blinks. And that always made me worry when a car blinks.
He's there, he's not there, he's there, he's not there, he's there, he's not there.
Could you imagine the iRacing spotter if there was a car blinking, but like how it really would be? Car right. I think he's there. Is he there? He's gone. Oh no, he's here.
Car right. Still there. Hold your line. He's disappeared. Hold your line. He's disappeared. Hold your line. Clear. Car right. He's disappeared. Stay high. There's a blinker on the low side.
Pretty much. Gap is now a second, by the way. He's Brown's able to pull a second almost this lap. I think it's starting to just be too much of a toll there for Adrian Stefan as the gap goes down to a second, which means Brown is going to start to get slipstream. But he's starting lap 25. We haven't talked a lot about Ponte. He got that lead back after the mistake from Stefan. And it's been pretty, it's been pretty quiet for the driver in the 100, in the number 150 in that orange car, just continuing to drive. He's got Mike Gaunt behind him. Again, are there any battles elsewhere? Because at the moment, 14 cars are on the lead lap. I don't really see anything. There is a battle for P18 between Solomonson and Steven Elgo, as Thomas there in the 77 does get past Solomonson. They're having a nice little battle for P18 and 19th. They're continuing to go, but they're looking very unsteady. And in fact, Solomonson might go off. He's had to lift. So yeah, that's that happening. Sean Brown is now right on the back of Stefan. And it's a question of this lap or next lap. But I think Brown might get that P2. And that'd be a good P2 for him, making up 2 places. So we'll wait and see on that. In fact, here he goes. Down into the corner. Down they go into turn 8. Just like that. No, Stefan responds. Stefan, he does have the cornering still. But it's just on the straights he's struggling.
Well, I mean, the aero vortices would probably be absolutely turbulent. And given the fact that, well, I mean, that front left is not looking too good, if I'm going to be honest. As we're looking on board with Sean Brown, as he's looking to get past. He can just, I think he's just trying to take it nice and slow. He's got 3 laps to go. They're on lap 26 now. I mean, look at just the closing speed just coming out of this corner. Particularly, yeah, he's just saying bye bye. Oh,
but he can't.
Oh,
he can't. And you have to ask yourself, if he stayed side by side, if he stayed behind, he might have been able to make it. Instead, he's had to make the force through at the Klein chicane. Finally gets that P2. But that's it. Yeah, it could have been done easier. But
Adrian made it happen.
Adrian, the question of when, not if. And Sean Brown moves up to P2, and from my calculations, that will probably put him leading the Majors Sportsman Championship.
I'd be happy with that.
Wouldn't you be?
Well, yeah.
So lap 27 of 28. Been a very quiet race, as we said, for the 150 of Adam Ponte. He's got a couple of cars battling in front of him, which is Brett Tosin and Mike Gaunt. Gaunt is trying to get as many places as he can because, again, he's still in the championship battle. Everybody's still in the championship battle, but Mike Gaunt is the championship leader. he needs as many places as he can get. And realistically, one thing he doesn't need is to be lapped, because he would love to get another go, almost getting into the back of Brett Tosin here. But he's battling. We've got to keep an eye on this, because the Hanson brothers car of Gaunt needs a good result, needs this. He started 5th. He's lost 10 positions after what happened at the start of the race. So you have to ask yourself, can he? He's losing time on Brett Tosin, but again, they're on lap 26. Behind him's Adam Facaponte. Oh no, he's locked the brakes! Gaunt's locked the brakes! Now is he going to give the... No, he's just going on. I think he was going to try and get the position back, but realised that Tosin was so far back. So that's it. Gaunt will get that 14th. Not the way he wanted it, though.
Oh!
Almost looks like different closing speeds. But white flag is out, and of course, while that happened, Facaponte did get by. So this is the final lap of the race.
Mike Gaunt on his own in 14th. Kenneth Reeder chasing down Jason Lothridge. 0.9 of a second behind, but it is white flag lap. Adam Facaponte just crossing through the Kleiner chicane. Sean Brown, look at him. Look how far behind. I mean, Adam could just essentially cruise home right now.
Clutch it. Simple as he could clutch it right now. He's just having... He's had almost a near perfect race. Has Adam. He's just got a couple corners to go. He won the sprint race, and after a little bit of drama at the start of the first race, he retained that first place due to an error by Stefan getting wing damage. But comes through Jackie X one last time. And your winner of the Masters at F3, the Sportsman European race, is Adam Facaponte. The number 150 wins. Where's Sean Brown? He hasn't even got around the corner. Now he gets it. He holds on to Adrian Stefan. He will take P2. Stefan will take P3. But again, Brown looks to be in contention to take the championship lead.
And Sam Watley coming home in 5th, running up your top 5. Stefan Rossman, after a bit of a turbulence, comes home in 6th position. Let me get the rest of them. Jack Weddle started 9th, gains 1 position to finish 8th. Fabrizio Raffa started 18th, and he's coming home in the top 10 position, so I'd say he'd be happy with that. Oh, Jason Lothridge and Kenneth Reeder going battle in the final inklings of the race. Kenneth Reeder pipping the post, I think, on this one. And Jason Lothridge having to settle for 13th position. But, I mean, coming from 34th, he's gained 21 positions. So, I mean, I think he'd be very happy with that. Starting from the back of the grid to... Yeah, essentially back of the grid to almost the top 10 finish. So I'd say he'd be very happy with that. Very pleased, man. And the last man to finish on the lead lap.
Is he really? He is. So that will be it for everybody. So Adam Facaponte is actually doing some donuts in the dirt, by the way. He's celebrating. And rightfully so. That was a very good drive. I think Rob will get the results up quickly. Adam Facaponte took home the victory and was saying Sean Brown came from 4th up to 2nd. Adrian Stefan, what could have been the poor result. Well, not poor, it's a poor luck, unfortunately. It's unfortunate luck. That's the right words. I'll get the words out correctly. I'm not attacking him there because anybody would do the same thing that happened there. Stefan took the lead at the start of the race from P3 and had that lead until the last 8 laps where hit overdoing the couple corners, hit the sausages, caused wing damage, and he does get that P3 though. He stays on the podium. Colin Wardham 4th, made up 10 places overall, and Sam Watley will come home in 5th. Stefan Rossmann will be in 6th position. Now, I'm not being biased because it's number 51, but what a drive from Peter Dolmeyer. 20 places to P7, and then Jack Weddle just making up a single place for P8. Stefan Elder will be 9th, and Fabricio Raffa will be 10th. Jan Leesver will be 11th, making 11 places up. As did Kenneth Reeder, by the way. He finishes 12th. Jason Lottridge is the last car on the lead lap, as we were saying, made up 21 places to come home in 13th. Quite a gaggle of cars a lap down. Mike Gaunt in 14th. Patrick Neese in 15th. Ernie Ludwig in 16th. Thomas Cybernagel in 17th. Corbin Solomonson in 18th. Anil Singh will be 19th. And David Wilson Jr. is 20th. Jambroni and Gustavo Cianfrani were both a lap down in 21st and 22nd position. Then the guys in 2 laps down. Brett Tosin, Jeffrey Eddy, Brandon Kluge in 25th. Eric Feck in 26th. He was P2 to start the race. Mason Milesdorf 27th. Scott Kukas 28th. Roberto De Phillips, who remember had damage at the start of the race, did not tow and was lapped twice while he was trying to get back. He finishes 29th. John McClintock finishes 3 laps down in 30th. Tom Van Putt in 31st, 4 laps down. Flavio Faguccio finishes 5 laps down in 32nd. Marco Smith 6 laps down in 33rd. Frederic Hosstetter was 14 laps down in 34th. Wolf Dieter Koto, unfortunately, he thorough-putted. No, that was last race, I apologise. Finishes 24 laps down in 35th. Michael Thompson was 25 laps down in 36th, as was Brad Walsh. He finished 37th and 26 laps down. So,
the Masters of Formula 3 comes to sadly, it comes to an end. It was a great 2 sets of races, and, I liked them a lot. Let's get Brown in. Let's get Brown in.
Yeah, let's I cannot spell at the moment. So we've done the first wildcard week while we just start building up for this. Our next race, by the way, gonna be a fun race. Well, we'll get Sean Brown in first, because it was a fantastic drive by Sean to what we believe take the championship lead. So Sean, congratulations on your P2.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was not looking forward to this race. This car track combo is not ideal for me, and my goal out there was just to not wreck, and it turned out to pay out.
Yeah, talk me through that first lap.
That was terrifying.
Yeah.
I was bummed that I went into turn 1 and saw Eric spinning, and that was my teammate, and I was like, man, that sucks. And then after that, it was just dodging cars left and right, and looking in the mirror and seeing the cars spin out, and I was like, I cannot wreck right now. And luckily, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people that were just having those issues, and you saw Mike go as well. Adams, well, not Mike, sorry, you saw your teammate go around. I think you also saw some others. Flavio went around. Some other people went as well. But were you surprised at seeing near the end Adrian being slow? Were you aware of him having wing damage?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't sure if my car was getting faster, or because I was starting to set some faster lap times. My car was starting to come in, but I was like, I can't be this much faster all of a sudden. So I was thinking he had some damage. And then got up to him, because, I mean, he was fast. And then, once I got up to him, we had a good couple of battles there for a little bit, and then I finally got past him. And luckily enough, I think it was with 2 laps to go.
Yes, it was 2 laps to go, yes. Rob, have you got anything to add?
Yeah, the cars themselves, how terrified of you were hitting the stops? How terrified were you that you were thinking to yourself, I really do not need to hit these sausage curbs? Because, in a normal car, if you hit the sausage curbs in these things, you're gonna have a bad time. But if you hit the sausage curbs in these things normally, it's usually the floor is gone.
Oh yeah, my goal was to not come anywhere near those, and I mean this track is really just what 3 chicanes, and yeah, it's very hard to try and stay away from those and still be fast. Especially the first chicane, it's kind of surprising how fast you can go through it and still not hit the curbs. And then the second chicane is just you are really trying to not hit those curbs because it's just going to cause a massive damage. You'll catch air, come down, crash, and yeah, it's just going to be a bad time.
I think as well you had to make an overtake on Stefan on that first chicane. How worried were you?
I was very worried. He came over the mic afterward and he was like, good pass. And I was like, well, that was surprising because I didn't really want to make the pass that way, but I just really needed to get past him. I was hoping he would back out and he did. But yeah, I was very scared going into it. Just make sure I don't lock up to take him out. I don't spin. I don't crash myself. And I was very worried about taking him out in the process of it because that would just make me feel terrible.
Well, once again, congratulations on the P2. And like I said, I think I don't do numbers in my head very well anymore at my age, but I think that may put you leading the Sportsman Championship. Do you have any shout outs to give?
Just shout out to my team, HW Racing, team owner Tom Wood, our livery Falcon. He makes some fantastic liveries for us. And this was a lot of fun. A lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Well, Sean, thank you once again. Congratulations on a P2, and hopefully we see you in April for the Musket 250. All the best.
Oh, yes. Me and my team are very much looking forward to that one.
All the best, Sean, and good evening.
Thank you. You have a good one.
And now we have the overall winner of the race. He won both races tonight. Yes, the sprint and the feature. Adam Facaponte. I apologize if I butchered that name, but congratulations, Adam.
Oh, it's all good. You could just call me Face. I know you guys, I don't think you guys were broadcasting when I used to run the majors, but I appreciate it. I just want to say I want to dedicate my win to John King. He's basically the reason I'm back racing with the majors. And, he's a really great guy, and it's a shame the news about him. And I just wish him all the best and his family.
I think we echo that as well. It was fantastic to see what the Major Series did for him in the last race at Daytona, and we are still racing for John. We're still helping John, and of course the donations were fantastic for his family and everything. That was great to see. Talk me through. Let's talk me through that race. You start at the front. You then have the issue of. I think you went down to third position at one stage after the first lap. So, talk me through that whole first lap.
Oh well, I'm sure you guys are aware that this car really does not like cold tires, and last weekend in the support race, I did the same exact thing on the first lap. I blew that first chicane. I just broke too late, and in the heat race, I was okay. Managed to fine, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm on the pole, no pressure, I'll be good. And did the same exact thing. And I slid back to second, and I was just kind of hanging there. Adrian was setting a pretty good pace, and I was like, well, let me just try and keep up with him, and we'll see what happens later. It's a long race, and he had a couple of really nice saves too. He had some. There was like one off track in turn one where I couldn't believe he stayed in it. And I barely gained any ground on him. So I mean, he was doing a good job, and I just kind of tried to stay smooth, and I guess my setup was pretty decent on long run, saving the tires, because everybody else was commenting on the fall off, and mine fell off too, but I guess not as much as everybody else's. So yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, it's only my second race back, and to come back my second race and get a win, I'm very pleased.
Yeah, that was quite a drive as well, especially for the lap traffic. Just checking the qualifying, because you didn't start pole. On my screen, and it says on iRacing, but I think there was 1,000 different. You tied with Anil Singh for the qualifying. Yeah. I mean, has that ever happened to you before?
No, I did a few practice qualifying runs, and in the warm up before the start of the session, and I was like, okay, yeah, probably a mid 20, 23 or 22 is what I'm going to need. And I got it, and I'm like, I'm second, okay. And I click over to the F2, and I'm tied. and I've had that happen before, but never for the pole. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how that works. Like if he got me by a 10,000th or something, I'm not sure how that works, but that was pretty cool. And then yeah, it was a shame what happened to him on the first lap of the heat race, because we probably would have had a pretty good battle. But yeah, I'm just really thrilled, and you know, it's a cool racetrack. I've actually never raced Zolder before. Before I started practicing for this race last weekend, I never raced Zolder, never raced F3. So the F3 car really does not like me on cold tires, but other than that, it's pretty fun to drive, and Zolder's a pretty cool racetrack.
I must admit, I don't know if Rob agrees. I've tried the F3, and I think the cold tire just put me off. I know that's the nature of the car, and they give you tire warmers with the grid start, but yeah, it's not my favorite thing to drive. And I was kind of happy that there was a formation lap instead of a grid start, because yeah, they're not fun. Rob, anything to add?
I do. I actually do this time for Fachaponti. Talk me through the chicanes. How much were you praying that you were not going to hit the sausage grips?
Well, I did that a lot in practice. You know, I pushing the limits, see how much I can get, and you know, there's some places you could hit them, and as long as you kind of prepare for it, like if you know you're about to hit them, you can save it. But if it's unexpected, it's like, for me anyway, I completely lose the car. So yeah, that's definitely you know, the 3 chicanes are pretty hairy, especially once you get a lot of laps on the tires. I'm not very good at saving my tires. So towards the end of the race, I was actually taking it easy quite a bit, and I let a lap car go just because I didn't want him, you know, trying to unlap himself with me, and because I knew I had a big lead. So yeah, that was definitely. But actually, my biggest concern at the end of the race was turns 1 and 2. For whatever reason, the car just got super loose there, so I was really taking it easy there in the last few laps.
Was it backing it towards the gravel? Was it when you're turning in on the apex and the car was just sort of sliding out rather than being poignant? Is it?
Yeah, basically, I was just getting some oversteer there. I mean, I did a few 28 lap runs in practice to prepare for it, but I don't remember ever doing that before. So
well,
it was the last.
Yeah, the track temperature was actually 30 degrees, so that probably was part and the parcel of probably why on the last few laps the car was starting to step out. Did you have any lockups with the brakes? How are the brakes?
Yeah, I had a few lockups. I mean, that's how I lost the lead on the first lap, and then after that, you know, like 1 or 2 like tiny ones here and there. You know, it happens, but nothing major. But yeah, that's definitely something you got to be careful with this car. It's crazy because you could really attack those chicanes if you get the braking right. If you don't, though, it's big trouble.
So we've done with Zolder. We've done with the wildcard week. April 11th is the Musket 250, which of course is the Tour modifies at New Hampshire. Any experience?
Nope, 0. That's what
well,
that
makes 2 of us.
So, it introduces me to a lot of things I've never done before. So it's usually a lot of fun trying something new. And there's been a few times they've had me drive something I never drove before, and I ended up being one of my favorite cars. So I'm a little cautiously optimistic.
Well, I do know myself, New Hampshire is a very fun short track oval. And people do rant and rave how good the Tour modifiers are. So, I mean, hopefully for you and hopefully for others, that it should be a good, a good race, and hopefully we see you again. Do you have any shouts out before we go?
Yeah, my former team, Unorthodox Motorsports, and also Evolve Sim Sports. I didn't actually drive for Evolve, but I drove for the guy who runs Evolve, and both of those, everybody with those teams did a lot when I was on their teams that helped me become a better driver. And I still keep in touch with a lot of those guys. I just, when I came back, I just wanted to run as an independent because I'm trying to take the league a little more casually this time. And I'd like to say hi, Mom. That's about it. I appreciate you guys too. I really enjoyed your Daytona broadcast. You guys did a great job, especially in those long green flag runs, trying to keep it interesting. So you guys do a pretty good job.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would say we won't keep you from any sport, but the Penguins aren't playing. It's spring training for the Pirates. It's not football season, so there's not much to do in Pittsburgh at the moment, or Pennsylvania at the moment, unless you're going to tell me you're from the other side of Pennsylvania and I've just absolutely screwed it all over. But I'll let you go. But all the best,
right,
Adam.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All the best, Adam. Congratulations once again.
And with that, I think it is time for us to go.
It's time for us to go. So I'll tell you what, if he's from the east of Pennsylvania and he's a Philadelphia fan, I feel like an idiot right now. But I'll tell you who, well, we're not idiots though. We are Raidillon TV. If you've enjoyed our coverage, thank you for watching the race today. Hit that subscribe button and of course the thumbs up if you would like it. And if you'd like to see more from us after hitting that subscribe button, tap that bell because Season 1 of 2020, or Season 2 of 2021 starts this week. So we'll be back with a lot of racing. I'll go down that calendar shortly, but of course, underneath the videos, you know, the link to our Discord for our community, and also the link to trackcams22.com for providing, once again, the fantastic camera angles. Now, I said that we're broadcasting again this week, Monday, the Racing Sim Rigs Super Trofeo Series, which is an all Lamborghini series, and it's been some great fun recently. Wednesday night, we've got a double header, the Racing Sim Rigs World Series. Which is GT3s, and we are at the Nordschleife for the endurance race this week, followed by later in the evening the Americas Series, which is GTEs. Then we get to official racing. Friday night, 1900 GMT is the pure. I gotta get this right because it's got a new name. The Pure Driving School European Sprint Series will kick off this week at Sebring, and then Sunday the Huskenveld GT Challenge returns to our screens. It has been fantastic, and once again, I apologize for any raspy voices because it has been a long 24 hours for a lot of us. So we're going to have some rest right now. I have been Craig King.
And I have been Robert O'Brien.
And this is Raidillon TV, the only corner you need. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.